We're live.
Hello.
All right. We just need to wait a bit, man.
Yeah. I got two people watching.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Indeed.
So quickly.
We're going to wait a few minutes for people to come in, just so you know. So we're going to be kind of sitting here.
We're going to do a 5-minute...
twiddling our thumbs a little bit at first.
Yeah, a 5-minute delay to start, but feel free to chat and ask us anything. If
5-minute
you want to say hello,
yeah,
and we'll explain what this is all about, you know? Can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah, how's the volume?
Yeah.
I got a question. What's the bucket?
You guys have... Yeah, hey, Alex.
Alex. Yeah, what's up, man?
Good to see you, man.
Cheers from Mexico. Yeah, cheers from across the pond in the UK. Hope you're doing well.
Listening to Buckethead, yes.
Yeah.
I first heard about him when he was in Guns N' Roses, actually. And then there's the epic Guitar Hero track as well, right?
Yeah. Which one of his was on Guitar Hero?
I don't remember the name, actually.
No.
It was one of the hardest, though. I remember that for sure.
Roger from Porto Alegre.
Roger. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to have you. All right, people are coming in. I'll give it another 3-4 minutes, you know, and then we'll explain what's happening. We're excited about this, guys. We're very excited.
Yeah, how you guys doing? Let us know in the thing. What's everybody up to?
Is the sound okay?
Yeah, please let us know if the volume's too quiet or clipping or distorted or anything like that. We're good? Yeah.
We're good, man.
Doing all right.
Sound is okay. Thank you, Roger. That's good, man.
Cool.
Sound is perfect.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Okay. Another couple of minutes. Getting a bit cold here in London as well.
Yeah, and it gets dark at like 3 p.m. now.
Yeah, very, very dark outside now. It's only 6 p.m. It's very dark.
And it's gray all the time.
Yeah. I know in Brazil where Roger is, it's really nice and sunny at the minute, you know?
Yeah, summertime.
Proper
summertime
hot,
in Brazil.
very warm,
yeah.
very nice.
Sounds perfect. Cool. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, man. Yeah. All right. A few more people just joined.
Oh, Roger, how long you been living in the UK? Well, I mean...
Me, long time, man. About 14 years.
And I've been living here for 5 years now.
Yeah.
So enough to be fully integrated.
Enough to, yeah.
Enough to know how things work, you know.
Fully integrated, yeah.
One's up from Brazil, living in Ireland.
Oh, cool. Rafael, I remember you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
nice
we've talked before, right? Where about in Ireland are you? Just so you know as well, guys, we've put like a 10-second limit between messages on the chat because normally we get a bit of filth
in the spam comments
in the chat, so that helps prevent it a little
from
bit
bots,
as well, you know. Yeah. Hey, Myla, from Brazil.
Thoughts on As They Lie Dying? Oh, dude, I used to listen to that band so much.
Yeah.
Like, but then, as many of you probably know, the singer Tim. Tried to hire someone to get his wife killed.
Oh my god!
And he got put in jail. But now they're back, and he's back in the band. So like, I don't know, but
that's pretty great.
No, they made amazing music. You know, I used to listen to them all the time.
All right, shall we make a start?
Yeah, I think we can start.
So, guys, basically, this is a new show we are piloting. You know, kind of thing.
Testing.
We're testing. Basically, the backstory behind this is the fact that you guys always constantly ask us to do more content, like in which we just hang out and talk to each other and talk to you guys. You know, that we get that feedback a lot from you guys. So we decided to start a periodic live stream show. It might be weekly. It might be every couple of weeks. We're still gonna see how it goes. You know, and just mainly it will be a live stream in which we just chat about anything that you guys want or we want.
We were thinking to call it Metal Talks. Let us know what you guys think, because we want to make the topic everything metal,
Yeah,
guitar related, you know, and just basically have a discussion openly with you guys.
that's right. So we're gonna discuss anything metal or guitar or even music related, music industry, music production, guitar, you know, sounds, anything that basically the same stuff that we talk about when we're not on camera. You know, we're always talking about this stuff, always reading on it. You know, we're really interested about it. So
Yeah.
do you want to tell everyone, Pete, what's the idea and everything for the first topic for the first show?
I'd be glad to. Yeah. So basically, the first episode here, we thought the best topic we could think of is kind of the mother question.
Yes,
I like that.
Yes.
The ultimate question for metalheads is, why do we like metal? What is it about that style of music that makes everyone feel connected to it, that makes you tick, it makes you emotional, it makes you whatever, you know? Why do we like it? Is it the heaviness? Is it the lyrics? You know, so we want to talk about that. Want to get your guys' opinions on that.
Exactly. So we chose the first topic with a lot of stuff at heart, you know. I think it's safe to say the whole community in our channel, the Pete and Vinnie community, everyone's a huge metal fan, you know, and it's our life basically, you know. So really excited to chat to you guys about this. Now, I need to remember to look at the lens as well.
Yeah,
we're looking at the screen.
Up and down.
So yesterday, or a couple of days ago, we went on Instagram and asked you guys to give us a few ideas of why do you like metal, you know. So I think the way we're going to do this, we're probably going to start talking about our experiences briefly, and then we can go on Instagram and see what you guys said.
Yep.
You know, read out some of those some very interesting topics on there that you guys interesting points that you guys raised.
Yeah, and there were quite a few interesting ones.
Exactly.
Sure.
And also we're gonna read in real time. We're gonna talk to you guys here on the chat. So please feel free to just message and anything to do with why do you like metal.
Yeah, please, and as Vinnie said, please don't hesitate to type in here on the live chat. You know, we can have kind of a discussion. We're gonna go through your questions that you submitted on Instagram, but please feel free to contribute here as well.
Cool. So hello from Germany to 77 Movie Fan. Thanks for everyone that joined just now. We're gonna basically like we said, anything you want to say, any contribution is welcome. But we're really interested to see what you guys have to say, you know, because we're not scientists, you know.
No, it's just we're just going to talk from personal experience.
Exactly, from a metal fan perspective and from like a musician's, like metal guitarist perspective, you know. Hi from Brazil, Will Hammer. How you doing, man? Yeah,
metal talk sounds really good. Okay, thanks, Alex.
Do you like it, Alex?
Yeah,
metal. I think. Yeah, I don't know. We're still thinking about it. It's not bad, but I think maybe we could do better.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be a working title because I was thinking it's a play on words, right? Because metal talks, like we're talking about metal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like metal talks, like money talks,
money
kind
talks,
of thing, like
talks.
that expression, you know.
So at the end of the day, we're going to be talking about.
You guys. But you know, we're talking about metal.
We're all good, Will. Thank you very much. Okay, so do you wanna? I think the first thing we're gonna do is just we're gonna talk about the first thing that comes to mind when we think personally as like individuals. Why do we like metal?
Yeah. So we'll start with our personal opinions.
Yeah.
And we can use that as a springboard, and then we want you guys to take it from there.
That's right. If you guys anytime you want to tell us in the chat why do you like metal, please tell us. And we will, we'll read what you have to say, and we'll definitely talk about it. Okay,
cool.
Should we start?
Yeah. All right. So this is a big question. I was thinking about this, you know, for tonight. I was really kind of doing a bit of introspection and thinking, okay, what is it? Because it was when I thought about it, I'm like, well, I don't really know.
So what's the
straight away?
I think the cool thing here is to think about the first thing. If I ask you straight up, like, what? Why do you like metal?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if that
what's the first thing that comes to mind?
So I would have to say, for me personally, it's the emotional side to it. I've always felt very connected to it. You know, when I first discovered it, when I was like 11 years old or whatever, like Slipknot was one of the big ones in the beginning. I had never heard kind of anger and intensity and volume just of that much in music before.
Yeah.
And straight away I was hooked. I was like, I love that.
Nice,
you know, like so I've always connected with that. And it, you know, whenever I've been feeling down, as I'm sure loads of you can relate to, it's always helped me through those times. You know, it's a great anger outlet as well. You know, like with any sort of, from mild frustration to if you get pissed off about anything.
Well, so like because everyone gets angry, right? I think it's safe to say some people more than others, obviously, but I think I think I was a bit of an angry teenager.
Yeah, angsty and angry.
Yeah, like very anxious about everything. You know, so would you say that when you listen to metal, then that helps channel that anger?
100%, yeah.
Because just by listening to it.
Yes, just by listening to it. And you know, when you're a teenager, you get angry about stuff that you don't.
Valeria says metal therapy. Correct.
Literally. Yeah, literally.
Hey, Valeria.
Because you know, when you're a teenager, you get angry about stuff that when you're an adult, you realize you shouldn't have been angry about. When you're a teenager, you get angry about everything.
Yeah,
everything's
a problem. Yeah.
Everything seems like the end of the world. So when I would be like, just all angry about stuff that didn't, I would just put on Slipknot, and I would, really help me feel better.
Yeah. Okay. Slipknot of all the bands as well.
That's the main one,
very angry
because
one.
of Corey Taylor,
Yeah, Corey's voice really kind of, you can say whatever you want, but his voice will bring out emotions on most people, I would say.
It's because he really was feeling that when he did it.
Exactly, he was angry about everything as well. Sorry guys, I'm just going to fix the camera quickly.
So and then into adult life, same thing. I still connect with it in that same way.
Cool, yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so when I think about if I get asked what do we like metal, what do I like metal, the first thing that I would say is probably, it brings me straight back to that kind of sense of community, that sense of belonging.
Yeah.
I think most people are unique, right? I think it's safe to say everyone wants to have like an identity. You don't want to be a part of a I don't know, like
machine.
Yeah, like I was gonna say like sheep. You want to be just another sheep,
Yeah.
But you want to have like you want to be able to express yourself and like stand out and like have your voice. And I think that by joining metal or like the metal community, you feel like you're a little bit more unique.
Yeah.
It's like straight away, because metal is not most people, right? Most people don't dress like they're metalheads.
No, it's in the minority.
Most people don't listen to metal.
Yeah.
And so straight away that gives you an identity. I'm not sure why that is. I think probably it has to do with the fact that metal started as like a counterculture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when everyone's like doing the pop, the disco stuff, like just music about love and everything, metal comes as like a response to that, like a counterculture to that.
Yeah.
And it's from the beginning, it's very rebellious, right?
Yeah.
It's like an outcast kind of vibe, So as soon as I start to identify with metal, then that leads to all this other stuff, right? You make friends, you start going out, you become social, and you feel like you are part of something. So that's the first thing that comes to me,
I think those are all really good points. I totally agree with that as well. I think anyone who's a metalhead and who's gone to metal shows, apart from the one guy here and there who's not very nice, but everyone is so nice. It's such a brotherhood and a sisterhood because everyone identifies with that. I feel like they're a part of something. It's something that really moves them. It's a bit tribal in a way. It's like you're part of this tribe that everyone is just looking out for each other, and they really connect to this one thing.
I guess one thing that you can say as well is that if you think about tribes are never very big, right?
No, that's true.
As human beings, we're programmed to be a part of a tribe of up to 150 people. Right?
Yeah.
And if you're not having any taste in music, for example, that's not a tribe. That's not small enough.
No.
So you don't feel like you're a part of anything.
Yeah.
But then if you get into like a more like kind of a niche thing, a niche genre, maybe you can then relate to. You feel like you're a part of a tribe.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's a circle of people that are like it's small enough to make you feel like that. Maybe.
Yeah, and I think as well, especially if you develop a taste for music that is on the unconventional side of things, whether it's punk or metal or whatever it is, some avant-garde style, whatever, and you're developing that as a teenager. You kind of feel like, you feel like you identify with it, but you don't think anyone else does. And then when you meet someone who does, it's such a special thing.
Yeah.
To this day, you see someone wearing a metal band T-shirt on the street, you're like,
just give them respect.
Yeah.
And you have stuff to talk about. So when you get together with your friends when you're a teenager, like you talk about music, don't you? Like most of the time.
Yeah.
That's if you are a music person, I have no idea what people talk about if they're not into music,
That's true, yeah. I don't know, movies.
Movies.
I like to talk about movies too.
Or talk about other people, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so that's kind of the starting point of this idea from us.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna go and check some of what you guys have been saying on the chat, and then we're gonna go on our Instagram answers from like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, let's do some of the chat things first so we can get everyone who's here. Valeria, Pete wore the perfect shirt for this stream. Thank you very much. I chose that very intentionally because
Very metal.
One of my favorite Metallica albums, and Justice for All and Kill 'Em All. They're pretty equal. But yeah,
I think we should probably do one chat and one Instagram.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So shall we take one question from here?
Yes,
then?
go for it. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. So make sure we didn't miss anything. Want to make sure we. Actually, there's one here. Do we? Yeah. That one. Yeah, I love. Okay. Doje Life 1. I love metalcore. The aggressive emotion with hints of tenderness. The hints.
Interesting. The contrast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Kill Switch Engage. Soil Work.
Yeah. Beautiful Valentine.
Yeah. Going blank now that I have to think of them. But bands like that, it's a winning formula. That heavy verse and the clean chorus.
Why does that sound so good?
Because you get best of both worlds. You know, it's like heavy verse and then it's like.
Is it because we are? No one's just angry all the time, and no one's tender all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
you know what I'm saying. So I think that really, obviously, especially with the aggressive verses and the really open, like beautiful choruses, you know. That really hits you, doesn't it? Like it's really nice.
I think like you said, the contrast is quite it's quite I don't know what the word is. It hits you. It's like wow, you know. It's like
I think we like contrast by nature. When you think about music, even going back to classical music, music is tension and resolution a lot of the time. You know, you got like a musical phrase that sounds a bit more. Why am I holding red pencil the whole time? That's going to be my thing from now on.
You look like a professor at a university.
So we have like a phrase that kind of starts something, and then another phrase that kind of resolves that. Chord progressions as well. They flow through like with there's always a more relaxed part of the chord progression, and then like eventually it gets tense, and then it comes back.
Yeah.
You know, I think that kind of metal that Doje Life 1 has described. It's it probably just is like another version of that, you know, in which like you have this really kind of aggressive, normally Phrygian sounding verse, like, you know,
1-0.
It's like super heavy, super like angry, and then when it explodes into this open chorus, we're like, that's so nice.
That's a good point about the tension and resolution, because our brains are kind of hardwired for that in music, especially in Western society, like Western music, because everything from Bach and Wagner and Mozart to anything these days, it's always tension and resolution, you know. And
what else, you know, like this mix wasn't always there in it. Like metalcore really are the people that started that. Like
it wasn't
contrast.
No, like in the 70s and 80s, that didn't exist. You know, it started kind of like late 90s, mid 90s, you know, and kind of became really popular in the 2000s.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for your input, though, mate.
Yes, thank you very much.
Right, let's go to Instagram now and check one of the some of these replies that you guys give us plenty to work with. Honestly, we're so grateful. But basically, there's one that I think it was pretty cool from someone called Terra Loca, maybe from South America. I'm not sure, but they said. Metal has its own unique personality, like classical music, and not so much like pop music.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of pop you're talking about, because I think the Beatles definitely had personality.
Yeah, I think they mean like radio.
Yes,
radio, mainstream, normal, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like current, you know,
like Dua Lipa.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Packaged bubblegum pop.
Exactly.
Right? No, I think that's a great point. You know, it's like it's so. There's a lot, like you listen to different metal bands, there's so much creativity, you know. I think that kind of is synonymous with the genre, you know. It's like it's about being creative and having a statement, being rebellious, as you said before, you know.
Do you reckon that maybe we can be a bit more complicated with it, a bit more unique with it, because maybe there's a bit less pressure for the music to fit a certain mold. I don't know, fit the radio maybe, you know, or like
definitely. I think there's less boundaries. There's basically no boundaries. That's kind of the point. You know, it's just like you can do whatever you want. You know, it's just about the expression. You know, whereas like pop needs to fit into this format a bit. Yeah, especially the industry makes it that way.
You know? Yeah, obviously metal can be mainstream and quite commercial as well. But I think because the way it started, I think it's expected that metal has more freedom.
Yeah,
you know, So I think when we're songwriting or whatever, bands are producing, recording, they can, I think I would say that they have more general freedom than generic pop artists.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
they're not. A lot of the time, pop music comes from like a super intense, money-driven perspective. You know,
and that's a big factor in it as well. Is the money.
Metal metal has a lot of money involved as well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think people are more open for it.
Yeah.
I think the metal fan is willing to digest the music for a bit, like listen to it a lot more times.
Yeah.
Give it a chance.
Metal a lot of the times as well can be a genre for patient listeners. It's like it's less instant consumption like a pop single or something. Like a lot of the time, if you listen to the album, it really gives you something. Like,
yeah. Cool. Let's go back to Alex here on the chat.
Yeah. Okay. So Alex asks or contributes. For me, it's about the lifestyle and the catharsis. For me, is the blues, man, and the evolution of rock genre is one of my favorite people in the world. Lemmy from Motorhead, pure, authentic, cool, and raw.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really see that evolution, can't you? Like if you start from the blues, then you go into like rock.
Yeah.
60s, the 70s, then goes into metal in the 80s, and then it gets progressively heavier.
Yeah.
But you can always trace metal back to the blues, right?
Yeah. Everything really comes from blues in terms of rock and roll and
the blues, guitar music,
rock and roll, heavy metal, and then branched out from there. Yeah. For sure. I think, and then obviously you can hear, like for the guitar players in here, if you do that 3-0, like that's all comes from the blues. It's pentatonic. Pentatonic based riffs.
The lifestyle as well. What's the metal lifestyle like?
Well, I think that it depends. Yeah, because if we're talking about Lemmy, he was like the ultimate rock star.
Yeah,
he didn't give a fuck about anything. He was just like he lived his life. He partied. He lived it fast and hard, basically.
But most importantly, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And like I think, is it safe to say that like there's a trend within the metal fans that they're generally nice?
For the most part, yes. I think that's like it's a known thing that metal people are some of the nice, even though we can look scary a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Are some of the nicest people you'll meet. Yeah. Because they've it just comes along with being a metalhead.
I find that metal is very inclusive.
Yeah.
I've always felt like everyone wants you to kind of check out their favorite band or whatever. It's like I don't think, at least from my experience, I've never like experienced any degree of bullying within metal.
Very rare, I think. Very rare. Yeah, and I think it's I forgot what I was going to say. Something about the inclusivity that you were saying. Metal fans are super loyal. They're the most loyal fans you'll ever meet. They're always happy to give, like, to buy merch to support the bands, and as well, like I've seen in the past, like if there's an accident or like someone is in a band is injured or sick, people will instantly donate money. Even if it's a band they don't particularly like the music, they'll still, because it's part of the scene, they're happy to like help. Which I think is amazing. It really brings people together. Which I think we need in the world today. A lot of that.
So that's definitely my experience with like.
Yeah. So anyway, back to his original question, Alex. The lifestyle it's a good one, I think, because it's very inclusive, it's very accepting, and it's about the release and the stuff that we all kind of feel. Exactly.
Very good.
So good point.
Thanks for your point, man.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back onto Instagram for another question from here. Let's have a look.
What we got?
All right. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Oh yeah, Valeria, who's also here on the chat, by the way. She said something we've already covered, actually. She said, aside from the music being kick-ass, the sense of community and passion for metal is awesome. Exactly. So the community, the passion, the loyalty, they're basically what we just said right now.
Yeah. So you agree with that. Exactly. Yeah. So that's a very, very central point,
Cool. All right. I have a good one for you here.
For me, okay.
Check it out, Pete. Katerina _PNA. She's saying the lyrics speak to my soul. Yeah. Some other people as well. A lot of people mention lyrics, to be fair, guys.
I think it's a big point.
It was like quite a few of your answers they had to do with the lyrics. Yeah. So the heavy music along with deep lyrics fit my emotions.
Yeah.
That's from Vina YMNJ. So lyrics. What's going on there?
Oh, I think lyrics are huge as well, because in metal, most of the time, there's always something to say. They're always making a statement on whether it's politics or injustice or racism or whatever it may be. You know, global warming, climate change. Gojira's last album had a lot of that stuff in there. You know, and their previous stuff as well. They're always doing that kind of. They're always making a statement on things going on in the world. You know, I think that's why like metal people that like metal musicians have something to say. And it really comes through in the music, you know.
And I think also because maybe there is less pressure for it to be so popular and like mainstream popular, I think you can say more as well.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Slipknot is always like Corey Taylor. His lyrics are always making a statement on something, and he's an amazing lyricist as well. It sounds like obviously he screams a lot of them, but if you go and actually read them, it's like poetry, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So lyrics are something that most people seem to know, you know.
Yeah. And it can be about
with
pain a lot of the time as well. That's why people say, "Oh, like your music really helped me through hard times." It's because like that's
a really good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah. You know, I was just thinking that like when you said pain and stuff, I just remembered like musically, metal tends to be quite minor, doesn't it?
Oh, in terms of sound.
Yeah.
Well, you don't normally hear it in a major key.
Yeah, exactly. But what other, you know, it's not that common, you know.
Yeah.
So
unless you're listening to like A Day to Remember, like do you know that band? Day to Remember, like an old pop punk band. I think they're still going, but they do like stuff metal, but like in major keys, you know.
Yeah, but then
they're more pop punk.
It goes into more punky hard rock vibes, you know, heavy rock.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
But like if you talk about metal, so it could be a combination between. All I'm trying to say is that it could be a combination between the lyrics and the sadness of the music.
Sound. That's a good point.
Maybe that's what hits that helps the way it hits you, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a great point actually. Yeah, combination.
You know.
Yeah. Cool.
What else have we got?
All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Raphael, Job for a Cowboy. Yeah, they're heavy. They are a very heavy band. I haven't listened to them in a while.
Okay, guys, anyone who has anything to say, please put it on the chat. We'd love to grab something else from here. So while we're waiting for the chat, let's have a look at Instagram again. Yeah.
Okay. Get back to the other.
That's pretty cool. This one.
Okay. Marco Mont says, because once listened, I've never felt alone anymore. Oh, that comes back to the unity.
That's lovely. That's
quite touching. Yeah. You should put that. You should write a song with that. That's a line right there. That could be a chorus.
Yeah.
That comes back to the point about the sense of community and identification with it. You know.
Yeah. Music can keep you company. You know.
Yeah.
And if the music hits you the right way, you know, I guess you can. Yeah. Like, why do we like to take a long trip? Like, I don't know, you're on the bus for 8 hours. If you have music, it's much more, much better journey, isn't it? Like,
one of the best things to do is just put your headphones on.
Yeah.
Put your favorite album on and just look out the window.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
There's another great comment here from Instagram from a couple of days ago. Deadly Wise, who's a very cool follower of ours, he was saying that it has more energy than other music. You can move your body at a gig and not just stand and listen.
It's a very good point. Yeah.
That brings us very swiftly into the energy aspect of it.
So, and therein lies the birth of the mosh pit, right? So, like, that's another thing. Obviously, metal is the core point of the music is the energy and the intensity, you know, the heaviness. And it's about release, right? Like, that's one thing I personally love about it as well, is that I can go to a gig and I can move, and it's like a physical release.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
Now, we know for a fact that moving your body is good for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, dancing is very like, it releases lots, you know, like it makes you feel better, you know, moving your body. And I think this link between energy and moving your body, metal really provides that, you know, because the music is so heavy, so intense. I think it makes you want to move, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think
like more than other styles.
Yeah. And that's a good point about the exercise as well, because exercise is scientifically known to release dopamine and serotonin in your head, throughout your body, you know, so you get that kind of exercise high, and it's really good for you. And on top of that, so if you're at a gig and you're moving around, you're getting that. Yeah. But you also identify with the emotional side of the music. So that's a lot of stimuli happening at once, you know.
Full circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is that when I go to, I always had this, right? I've always had this. What I'm going to say now, I've always had this opinion, like when I go to a gig, if I don't know the,
No, I'm just anticipating what you're gonna say. Yeah.
sorry, I got a bit of a cold today, guys. Like my throat's really like tingly, you know, like
Stuff's going on.
so I'm like. Anyway, so when I go to a gig, if I don't know the band, yeah, if I've never seen them before, there's normally two instances in which that will make me appreciate the band and like the band.
Okay, yeah.
The first one is if the music is really amazing, like if the songwriting is really, really amazing.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, that's one. Like, oh my god, like that is beautiful music in terms of like harmony, melody. You know, everything comes like well, like nicely written music. But the second aspect is like if it makes me want to headbang. You know, if it makes me want to move like this,
Groove.
then the music doesn't even need to be that good.
Yeah.
You know, if there's like, you know, if there's one riff in that that makes you,
That's a very, very, very good point.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, because I've seen plenty of gigs where they're like, you know, bands that are like, they're okay, you know,
they're
mediocre or whatever. But like, if they have a good riff in there,
you
like,
remember,
you
remember them. You
it's
know,
all about the groove.
then it can go like,
Yeah, it's all about the
you
groove.
know.
When we were at ICMP, this is a funny point on this groove topic.
Yeah, ICMP is the music university.
If anyone doesn't know, yeah, that's the one where Vinnie and I met. Was at ICMP, this music school in London. But there was and they had master classes there now and then. They bring in some famous musicians, and one in our first year they brought in Stevie Wonder's drummer, a guy that played for Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still does, but but he did. He was like his biggest drummer back in the day, and he did a master class. And he said, someone asked like I forget what the question was, but his response was, "It's all about the groove, man."
Yeah,
that's what he said. You know? And it's true. It transcends into every genre.
Yeah,
you know?
And metal definitely has groove, you know. And when it does, especially when it does, you know, then it's like, I think it hits you straight away, basically, you know. Then you can go like, you know,
4/4 is the best, man. Odd time is cool sometimes. But,
this idea about the energy, like the amount of heaviness that comes at you at a gig in a metal, you don't normally get from other styles, you know.
No. You certainly can't match the intensity.
It's a wall of sounds, you know. It really messes with you, doesn't it? Like in a good way, of course.
Yeah. Your ears have no space. It's like it's just filling it up, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, that's I think that definitely,
So groove, groove is
wanting to headbang and groovy is, you know, I think it's a huge point.
Yeah,
a huge part of why do we like metal, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, guys, let's see. What do we have? All right, okay. Valeria just I've seen something pretty cool.
I also love, Valeria now says, I also love the humorous side of metal. There's always been a stigma that everything surrounding metal is satanic/bad, but most metal singers, metal fans are some of the nicest, funniest people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's like metal music tends to be very serious in topic, but at the same time, the people, I feel like they don't take themselves too serious.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like,
I think I would say, and I think if you can be that angry on stage and stuff, like if you can perform to that level of energy, you kind of need to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
there's
a beautiful interview with Corey Taylor that like they're asking, like it's like one of these red carpet events, you know, and they're asking all these rock stars, what's your sorry, I'm getting mixed up. So it's basically when they did that Psychosocial Baby, Justin Bieber thing. Do you remember
the mashup?
Yeah. The interviewer went to ask him, like, fully expect him to be like, oh, what the fuck, that was shit or whatever, you know, like that was awful. And he was like, I loved it, you know.
Yeah.
And then he says, like, if you can't laugh at yourself, man, you know.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I certainly remember the mashup.
You have to be able, man. You have to be able to laugh at yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just angry.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
No. As first impression, it may not seem like it's there, but just something very lighthearted about metal that I love.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when you talk to people, like they can look very scary. Now, and you know, when you start going out and you go out, and then you just see like some older metal guys that look pretty scary. And they're normally very nice.
No, normally most 95% of the time they'll be very nice. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Valeria. That was lovely.
That's a good contribution. Yeah.
Let's have a look again at the questions. Yeah. So some of your other comments here on Instagram, A lot of them had to do with how heavy it sounds, you know. So the Mag Zero said, because it hits me in the bones,
Yeah.
you know. Then Mets.srt10 said, because I like the heavy sounds.
Yep.
A lot of people commented on the riffs, you know, how the riffs make you feel, you know. Anna.ls also said, the energy, crazy vocals, the guitar, the power, I enjoy every tone to the bone.
Every tone to the bone.
Very
Nice,
cool.
nice.
This is the thing as well. Let's talk about guitar in metal for a second.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we
You know?
wouldn't be a Pete and Vinnie chat
Yeah.
if we didn't talk about guitar
So-
specifically.
Guitar is king in metal.
Yeah, guitar is, it's a guitar-driven genre.
Yeah.
It is.
Like from
There's
Iron
no
Maiden,
denying that.
from Black Sabbath to Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, I say the three like really kind of biggest like icons of metal, like and earliest. You know, guitar is everything in the,
Yeah.
like in those bands. You
Yeah.
know, like not everything, but a lot. you
Well,
know?
Iron Maiden has three of them, so three guitarists. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's this. I mean, it's distorted guitar is the sound of metal.
It's a genre that doesn't work without guitars, does it?
Not really.
No.
No, you need them.
Can you have rock without guitars?
I think you can have rock with minimal guitars.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a
Clean.
cleaner sound. You know, like
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And the guitars are very aggressive. Like a distorted guitar is very aggressive, isn't it?
it's very aggressive.
You can't give you anything apart from like this kind of full sound.
It
you know?
occupies a lot of wavelengths in
Exactly.
the mix, a lot of hertz. You know?
Yeah, musically distortion is like it's not distortion is something that we didn't like originally, isn't it?
No,
Like,
no. Yeah,
You know, it's something that we wanted to avoid.
yeah, because you're distorting
Yeah.
the sound of a guitar.
That's a problem.
Which is, yeah.
But then obviously we started doing it in the studio, and
Yeah.
then like with the guitar sound, eventually there's a whole
It built a genre.
There's a whole genre
Yeah.
around distorted guitars, which
Yeah.
is basically heavy metal. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah, and I think with like the classic metal band thing is the two guitarists, a bassist, a drummer, and a singer. That's the classic line.
yeah.
You know. But the main thing is the two guitars. You need two guitars
Yeah.
in metal. Most of the time, you can get away with one
Yeah.
depending on what type of metal you do. But the vast majority of times, it's the stereo guitar sound.
Yeah.
Harmonies, that's another
Yeah.
thing that metal has all the time.
Oh, harmonies. Yeah.
It's our favorite.
The
thing,
guitar lines,
the guitar
Yeah.
lines.
So that again, harmonies that they really touch you in a certain way, don't they? Like
Yeah.
when you play two guitars harmonizing, you kind of it's like you reach another type of sound,
Yeah.
that kind of hits you differently as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it has to be about the emotion that it triggers on people.
Yeah, it has to move you for sure.
Yeah, do you reckon it's the emotion that people feel when they listen to metal is different than
No, I wouldn't say it's different. I would I mean maybe certain aspects, but I think like we're metal fans because that just happens to be the genre that we identify with.
yeah.
If someone listens to soul or R&B, they might feel those same
They might
exact
feel the same emotions,
because they
yeah.
identify with what they're saying, or the sound of the music hits them differently. Everyone's different,
Yeah,
So we could we're talking about metal, but someone could equally have this discussion about blues or about jazz,
Yeah.
even. Someone could identify the way we do with metal with their genre of choice. But that's what's so beautiful about music is it just has that power.
yeah.
Yeah.
So check this out. 77 Movie Fan said something really interesting. I'd love to comment on this. Do you want to read this?
Yeah,
one
sure.
For us?
Still most in love with my first explorations, and that would be Judas Priest, Maiden, Accept, Saxon, Skid Row, Cinderella, Rat, and Motley Crue. More on the lighter side, but much guitar, and Priest is king of that. Yeah, lots of guitar. Yeah, and yeah.
So check this out. There has been a study, there's been a few studies on this, but basically, this is quite recent as well, but apparently we're always gonna love the most the bands that we listen to when we were forming our personality.
Yeah.
So anything from like 12 to 14 to 15, when you're like kind of becoming like a proper person, whatever you listen to during that time is basically going to be your biggest passion forever.
Yeah.
They did an experiment as well.
A study, right?
A study with this. They grabbed some of the best musicians from New York, which is like the mecca of jazz, Did I say jazz musicians? I did, right? No?
The Mecca of Jazz is what you said.
Yeah, but they grabbed the best jazz musicians.
Okay, yeah.
The best jazz musicians from New York. People that have like a beautiful career, like very successful guitarists, bassists and stuff. And some of them were like metal fans when they were teenager, you know.
Mm.
And then they play them like stuff like Korn, System of a Down.
Yeah.
These people like 30 something, like they're in the early 30s, you know. So basically, when new metal was happening, they were teenagers, you know. And then they played them Korn, System of a Down, and the stuff that they liked, and they measured their heartbeats and stuff. And they had a lot more response from listening to like the metal that they loved even before they knew what jazz was, you know, before they played jazz, than the response that they had when they heard like the music they currently play as a job, like jazz music, which is amazing as well, of course, you know. But like it was like the response that you have.
Yeah, it's like
you know about this study, right?
Heartbeat. Like, yeah. No, for sure. I'd heard about that one. Yeah, and it's like, well, it just proves the point of what you said. You know, like it's such a strong. You have such a strong association with the taste that you formed when you were developing, basically when you were growing up. You know,
the bands that I liked when I was 14, or whatever, they were mainly Green Day, Guns N' Roses, Metallica.
Yeah.
Mate, honestly, I was at the gym the other day, working out, took some Green Day. It's so much fun, amazing, you know. What were your bands?
Oh man, at that age, Slipknot, Korn, System of a Down, Bullet for My Valentine. We're a huge one for me.
Bullet is so nostalgic when you listen to
it. You know what's funny though, because Bullet was actually a bit later for me. So when I really got into metal, it was like 12, and now I listened to like Korn and Slipknot and System of a Down, like those bands, more on the new metal side of things.
Yeah.
But kind of heavier in a way. And then I went more emo after that. It started straightening my hair at like 15.
Straightening your hair.
Yeah. This was a nightmare.
So check this out. Valeria said this is very interesting and makes a lot of sense for me. Yes. For the longest time, I thought I was like, am I unable to like any new music? Yeah. I was like, am I narrow-minded?
Yeah.
I always used to think like, why do I keep going back to Aerosmith, Skid Row, Guns N' Roses? And when I listen to that, I love it so much.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I can listen to music that's coming out like all the time, like currently, you know, but it's never going to be the same, man.
Yeah, no. I think
you put Tears Don't Fall by Bullet.
Yeah.
You know, you will enjoy that more.
Yeah.
Than like this whatever modern band, you know.
It's true. I think you can probably relate to this point as well. As when we were at music school, we had a performance class or techniques class, and they put us through all these different genres, you know, stylistic conventions of funk and stuff on the guitar. And so I gained such an appreciation for all these different genres. But at the end of the day, I still came back to metal. That's still what I want to do, you know?
That's because that's what built who you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Hold on. Let me give a quick shout out to Tom Lisman, because it's my new soon-to-be stepson. It's my mom's fiance.
All right.
Thanks for joining, Tom. Thank you. Yeah.
Look, I have to say, I think that's an amazing note to end on.
Yeah.
You know, when we can link it back to the time when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, and like basically most of us, like within the Pete and Vinnie community, I think it's safe to say that we built our personalities around metal.
Yeah.
You know, so if that's not reason enough, you know.
And I think it's as well, just a quick summary point is like all of these points we're talking about, they tap into this kind of biological primal thing, you know, of like connection, emotion, and nostalgia, you know, with this last point. So I think it hits you.
Yeah.
You know,
there's the energy. What else do you have today? We had the lyrics, the energy,
heaviness,
the
like
groove, the fact that you can move to it,
identification,
dance,
like emotional identification,
sense of belonging. So I think I'm really happy with this.
Yeah, this has been it's been very insightful.
We managed to because even it's not always so clear, you know. So we really wanted to like create this kind of show as a way to, you know, like learn from you guys as well, you know, get your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe just chat, hang out, contribute with like.
Yeah, and let us know if you guys liked this. You know, we want to make it more of a regular thing, and you know, with talking about metal and guitar, there are endless things we can discuss. You know,
we're gonna be opening Instagram. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram, please have a look. Pete Vinnie Play, just at Pete Vinnie Play on Instagram without the end, just Pete Vinnie Play.
Yeah,
and and then we're going to be talking to you guys on there, asking for more suggestions, or leave us a comment on this video or any of our videos. If you have any other ideas for topics, and I think, you know, it's all about, you know, chatting.
Yeah,
like this kind of community vibe, which is really cool. You guys always support us so much, you know.
Yeah, because we like doing this as well. We very much like hearing what you guys have to say.
And you guys have been asking us to hang out more and chat more. And play less.
Yeah.
So
Play less. Yeah.
so we're gonna be doing this. Obviously, we won't play less. We'll
keep playing just as much, but we'll talk. We'll talk
But we'll
more
talk
as well.
more.
You know. Yeah.
So honestly, guys, I hope everyone has a really, really good week. You know, thanks for tuning in on Monday. Drop us a direct message on Instagram if you have any ideas or if you'd like to discuss anything in the future. You know, we're still deciding if this is going to be a weekly or
like a
bi-weekly.
maybe bi-weekly, maybe 2 weeks, but we'll see. We'll see how
We'll see.
So yeah, let us know, and we hope you're well wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for chatting and hanging out with us.
Go listen to some metal. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
See you guys.